Okay, so we're going to do our second experiment, which is to hook up our various light bulbs in what we call parallel. Now, in parallel, by definition, means that they have the same voltage drop across them. That's the technical definition, and we'll hopefully see what that means in a second. Whereas the previous experiment where we did series, they each had the same current going through them. Now, we're going to do this in the same way we did before, which is we're going to start with one bulb, go to two bulbs, and then go to three bulbs. And when we do that, we're going to write down and record the various voltages. So let's start with just one bulb. All right. So I'm going to start with my one bulb, and just like before, I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to take one of my wires and hook it up. And even though it doesn't matter, just so we keep it straight in our minds, I'm going to go ahead and hook it up to the plus because it's on the plus side. And I'm going to hook up the other from the minus to the minus. Again, if you reverse this, don't lose sleep over it. It's going to work. I'm just trying to keep things straight in my mind. Okay. And my bulb will light up, and we're going to have you measure the voltage of the bulb. Again, put the red on the one side and the black on the other side and write that voltage down. Now, to hook up bulb 2 in parallel, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect one wire to the plus side and one wire to the minus side. And I'm going to hook them up so that I have the same voltage across this one as I did the other one. To do that, I'm going to go back to this point. And it's going to be key that you go back to the point where you're attached to the wire that goes to the holder. So I'm going to clamp on, and again, you can clamp on anywhere. You can just literally grab onto that little clip. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay. And so I can see that these two wires are in parallel. They're coming off a single point, going into this one and going into this one. Now I have two bulbs in parallel, and again, what we want you to do is to compare the brightnesses to each other and compare to your best of your ability what was the brightness to a single bulb. That actually can be done easily because I can always just now unhook one of these bulbs because they're not in series. The circuit will stay whole, so I can go one bulb, two bulbs, one bulb, two bulbs, and it's a good way for you to be able to do that comparison. Okay. Then to do three bulbs, you're going to do the exact same thing. Once I get my two bulbs working again. So I have my two bulbs. I have two yellow wires. I'm just going to be kind of keeping an eye on it. So I'm going to first hook my wires up to my bulb, and then I'm going to come to this point in the circuit. Oops, be careful, they can get tangled up and a little confusing. So again, I'm going to connect one bulb at the same point. I'm going to connect the other bulb at the same point, and then I'm going to have my three bulbs in parallel. Again, I'm going to measure my voltage from one side of bulb 1, one side to the other side of bulb 2, same with bulb 3, and record those values. And again, I'm going to note the brightnesses. Okay, so again, just as a reminder how we measure the voltage, I'll do it really quick here. I did it in more detail in the previous video. Plus, minus, record the voltage, do the same here, and do the same here. And that's your experiment for our bulbs being in parallel.